Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the Lexus RCF Track Edition. This model is finished off in Cloudbusrt Grey. They have a starting MSRP right around $106,000. We have a very cool track-focused Lexus coupe here with a bold interior, as we'll come back to. But let's start off with what this is powered by. This is the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. It is paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 472 horsepower with 395 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers are the same as a traditional RCF. However, the Track Edition gives you that carbon fiber hood, so that adds a little bit of weight reduction. There's carbon fiber for the roof to lower the center of gravity. Overall, it weighs about 200 pounds less, so right around 3,700 pounds. It's rear-wheel drive. It also can do 0 to 60 in just under 4 seconds, and it has a top speed of 168 miles an hour. There's also a lot more goodies for this Track Edition, as we will get to. But let's come back to the front, where there's also more carbon fiber for the entire lower section. There's the sensor for the adaptive cruise, this brushed gold accent for the entire surround for that hourglass design. Plenty of cutouts in that grille too. And then there's the LEDs up front with the distinctive DRL design there. So very nice front end design, and that carbon fiber hood still retains the same lines as the factory hood. So it blends in very nicely. Now this also has the F-Sport tuned suspension. It has Brembo brakes with the 6 pistons up front, 4 pistons in the rear, and the carbon ceramic brakes as well, with a really nice wheel. There's more carbon fiber for the lower side skirt, the F badge. There's also the turn signal for the mirrors there. There's gloss black for the window trim, and then some very nice lines running down the side. Very crisp points as well. And that leads us to this massive carbon fiber spoiler with the F badge on both sides there. There's the LED taillights with those dark housings, backup camera, quad tip dual exhaust, and more carbon fiber for that diffuser down below. Now you can use the button on the key fob or the hidden button up underneath to open up this trunk, where, let's face it, this is going to see normal daily driving a lot more than out on the track. You have a lot of cargo space here to make this very practical. Now the back seats do not fold down, so this is all that you get, but it is a good amount of space for this vehicle. And then as we work our way to the interior, we will take another look at all of the red. Definitely a bold combo for this. There's red suede and leather on the door panel, along with red in the carbon fiber weave there. There's all of your window controls, side mirror adjustments, and then storage in that lower section. And then we have the solid red leather seats with the F badge up top. They are automatic as well. But when you pull on that tab, it actually moves the entire seat. So that gives you access into the back, where you're really not buying this for a full 4-seater. As you can tell with that seat all the way back, there is no leg room. But at 5'10", if you adjusted that seat properly for your leg room there, I'm ducking slightly. My head is definitely hitting the headliner there. But you have a little bit of space here. You have some air vents and the armrest here. So if you had to use it, you definitely could make it work. And then the seat will work its way back once you lock that into that position. And then once we hop in, we have the perforated leather steering wheel with the solid red in the lower section. Let's start this up, where we have the paddle shifters on this left side. There's your Bluetooth and voice commands, along with volume and tuning. On the right side, there's cruise control, your distance pacing, lane keeping assist, and then you have some adjustments to go through the left side of the gauge cluster. On the right side, there's miles per hour. TAC is right in the middle. And then you can go through the rest of this information, just depending on what you would like to see. You even have some standard safety features that you can go through as well. Now over on this left side, there's a defroster, your automatic headlights, parking sensors. You have some odometer controls there. And then with the infotainment system, you have to control it with the pad down below. So by pushing on menu, you can get into all of this, where you have your audio, you can pair your phone, you can get into your climate adjustments as well, and then you can even pull the map up in full screen. Not a whole lot of information, but it is basically all that you need to use every day. Now you have air vents and the clock. There's all the climate adjustments with your temperature controls, fan speed, defrosters, even a CD player underneath that with some radio adjustments. You get a little bit of storage, and then you have a few different driving modes. So there's Eco, there's Sport and Sport Plus, And then normal and custom is just by pushing down on that dial. There's also launch control, traction control. You have the backup camera to give you some good graphics. You can also shift using the shifter or those paddle shifters. And then you get a little bit of storage in the armrest with some auxiliaries. Glove box has plenty of room, along with more of that carbon fiber and the red weave there. There's garage door buttons up top and then touch sensitive dome lights as well. And then for a coupe, it's pretty open feeling. Even over this left side, you can see out of that window right there. So not all that bad as far as visibility goes. And we're still in the Sport Plus setting, second gear. Here we go. I like the drama that's in these shifts too. It definitely shifts very quickly, but it just gives you a really good character and feedback when you get up to speed. And I'm sure that is going to be magnified when you really step on it and get in those higher RPMs. But let's go ahead and dial it into eco mode now so we can go over the different driving modes. It looks like you are still able to use the paddle shifters here. And we'll go to second gear again, where it's definitely a lot more, it has that lag to it, which is what you would expect shifting into the different modes there. So it's nice that they are functional depending on how you're driving it. Unless you're just cruising out on the highway, I don't see a point to eco mode unless you just want to save on MPG while you get to the track and then put in Sport Plus and really have some fun. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the RCF Track Edition. Definitely a fun vehicle to drive. Like I said, there's not a lot to really mess with. You have what you need as far as the navigation, pairing your phone. That's pretty much it. This is a driver-focused car that you just are going to have a lot of fun with. Brakes are also very touchy, which is to be expected. These are really going to shine when you are out on the track, of course, which is what they are designed for, versus the daily driving like I'm doing right now. It sounds good. I do wish it was a little bit louder. It'd be nice to see maybe an active exhaust with these driving modes, just to give you a little bit more of that track feel, even though it's not, you know, handling or performance related. Just giving you a little bit more of that aggressive sound would be cool. But very fun to drive. I would really enjoy getting this out on the track. These aren't vehicles, especially if the IC or the IS 350 and IS 500 are very popular sedans. The 500, again, I'm just comparing it because it shares the same 5-liter V8. We took that around the Daytona racetrack and it was unbelievable. I was not really a huge fan of those cars, especially this RCF 2, but with experience with the 500 on the track, and even though I'm not doing any performance driving with this, it's unreal how fun this car is with that NA V8 compared to turbo engines where you can get a lot more power. Power is not necessarily everything or important when it comes to how a vehicle performs on the track. This vehicle right here is going to be very quick, very fun to drive. It gives you all those characteristics with that NA V8 to really make this a fun and enjoyable track vehicle. It may not be the quickest, but it's going to be very, very fun. I can tell just from this test drive here. So it'd be really fun. Maybe one day we'll be able to get one of these out on the track for a little bit more performance driving to see how this does. But that is going to wrap it up for the Lexus RCF Track Edition. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this coupe for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. We'll do a few more twisties here, and I will see you all in the next video.